Literally, almost immediately after we find out that 19 kids are dead, 19 kids will never go home to their parents, will never get this summer break off to frolic in the pool with their friends and play and go to prom and go to college and have a future. 19 kids gone. And the humans among us, our reaction is to be horrified. Those of us who have children. When Newtown happened, my older son was actually that same grade in kindergarten. And it's hard not to break down when talking about this. But you can tell who the right-wing sociopaths are among us. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you how awful Ted Cruz is. But the fact is that his immediate reaction is some fake bullshit prayers. Thoughts and prayers from me and Heidi, probably from Cancun. But we can't, gun laws don't work. We can't think of adding any additional gun laws. And so I put a tweet out there that went viral, and I thought I would just share that with you in video form because it's worth people knowing. We are a high-income democracy. We are among a group of high-income democracies, okay? Out of all of those high-income democracies, the worst of them has 50% of the gun violence we have. That's correct, the worst of them. You look at ones like Japan and the United Kingdom, and you get to a point where you have like 1/50th or less of the gun violence we have. There is science, there is data. We know how to fix this. And you know what? We don't only know how to fix it because of that. We know how to fix it because we have eyes and ears, and we can get on airplanes and we can go to other countries. I've lived in England and France. There are people who've gone and traveled abroad. Ted Cruz has traveled abroad many times. He's just so full of shit, it's coming out of his ears. Maybe that's why that beard is growing. They try to give it a place to harvest. In any case, I thought I'd give you, the reminder I gave people in the tweet I put out. The reminder that we have zero proof that gun laws work and lead other countries to not have any more than a couple, at most, mass shootings a year, and not have everyday gun violence plague their streets. Literally to have 5%, 10% of the gun violence we have. So we have zero proof of that. If you don't include Japan and the United Kingdom and Belgium and Canada, Iceland and Romania, Norway and Austria, Argentina, also the Netherlands, South Korea, Italy and Greece, Chile, France, Israel, Sweden, Singapore, Portugal, Czechia, Denmark, also Taiwan, Switzerland, also Poland, Germany, Luxembourg, Malta, Australia, Estonia, Croatia, New Zealand, Ireland, Slovakia, Latvia, Slovenia, San Marino, Andorra, Monaco, and Lithuania. You can play that back and go through the list of, I don't know how many, 25, 30 countries I just read you. Again, the worst of them, Chile and Argentina, have about 50% of our gun violence. Most of the rest of the ones I named, 30% at most, some 20%, a whole bunch of them, 5%, 10%. And there are numerous other countries that have a history of owning guns. Switzerland, Canada, Scandinavian countries. But they've put into place these same gun laws and balanced that with gun ownership that we could do tomorrow. Background checks, psychological tests that they conduct every year. Make sure that you're not a criminal and make sure that you're not dangerously mentally insane. Limiting certain military weapons of war they will not allow people to own. Limiting who can carry publicly like we used to in the United States before the NRA turned radical in the 1980s and then the GOP after that, so that it's only a scant number of people who've spent hours on the range and also had psychological profiles and had to pass written tests and tests on the range, kind of like what you have to do with a car. This is all doable. Ted Cruz knows this is all doable. Ted Cruz runs to Cancun when it gets cold. Ted Cruz, when we have to solve problems, gets up and reads books on the floor that he doesn't even understand. Green eggs and ham. He doesn't even know what it's about. I wish he did. It's a little more liberal than he'd think. These awful figures. I'm choosing Cruz right now because he's the worst of them. Don't let them continue this. Don't let them continue to kill our children and kill our democracy. Right now, everybody, we can make changes. We can vote for more Democrats. We can get beyond the 50 we have right now so that we have enough that even without Joe Manchin bitching all the time, we can get rid of the filibuster and pass real robust gun laws and enter the league of all other civilized nations, all other high income countries that don't go through this shit every single week.